Oh, 3 weeks earlier. I've always liked the shape of my eyes. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my eyes. With or without makeup, I think they look great. Mother used to tell me I inherited her eyes and my big sister inherited father's eyes. To be honest, I don't see any of father's features in myself or my sister, but I do agree that my eyes are exact replicas of mother's. Mother doesn't see too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my eyes are perfect and I couldn't be happier with them. I wear eyeshadow and eyeliner to bring out my best features. Some people tell me I use too much makeup, that I tend to overdo it and make myself look intimidating. Well, I don't really care. I mostly like the way I look, and honestly, how many people can claim the same? Today's morning ritual is the same as any other work day. I'm a slave to the wage and I'm not proud of it. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without money. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m, the shower is running by 6:05, I'm dry and dressed by 6:15. I skip breakfast because I'm watching my figure and spend until 6:30 working on my makeup. I'm out of my cramped shoebox apartment at 6:45 a.m. Sometimes I catch my neighbour returning home from his overnight shift, and if so, I exchange simple pleasantries with him and continue on my way. Today there is no sign of my neighbour, so I don't slow down as I descend the stairs and exit the building. Hitting the convenience store for a can of coffee saps another few minutes from each day. I prefer sweet milk coffees, but every now and then I'm in the mood for rich black coffee. Regardless, I never start the day without it. I don't always need the energy boost, but it helps to stop my stomach growling. It's a milk coffee kind of day, so I pay for my favourite brand and get out of the store in no time. The canned coffee dives into my handbag as I continue on my way. The train station is always busy in the morning, and it's usually a struggle to navigate my way to the correct platform in time. For the 7:12 train, today is no different. However, I always make it in time because my routine has been perfected over the last few months. I board the train bound for Shinjuku. A cursory glance reveals there are no empty seats, so I push through the throng of bodies and stand against the carriage wall. There's plenty of empty seats right there. Wherever there are seats available, I like to sit and read, but it's much more common to have to stand and stare at my phone screen like almost everyone else. When I do read, I read the classics: Stoker, Lovecraft, Poe, horror, Western horror. That is my favourite genre. And of course, faithful translations into Japanese are as good as it gets. My English isn't nearly strong enough to read these novels in their original language. If I'm stuck staring at my phone screen, I like to stalk people online. Acquaintances or the few friends I have lead such boring lives. They post about the most mundane topics all day, every day, acting like they'll shrivel up and die unless they get the attention they seek. I find their dull, tedious lives simply fascinating. From behind the safety of a glass veil, I can fulfill my voyeuristic fetishes and consume as much pointless information as I desire. Knowing everything mundane Every mundane tidbit of everybody's daily life turns me on. This morning is the same as any other. I stare down at the phone held in my frail hand. My fingers move of their own accord, scrolling, tapping against the backlit display, pausing, pondering, pouncing on any post or picture that my pupils haven't yet consumed. Standing in the train carriage, packed to the gills, with people, I can't help but feel my face getting flushed and my steamy breath escaping my lips. I digest post after post, photo after photo, memorizing the comings and goings of every single person on my noise activity feed. I catch my breathing getting heavier, my gasps becoming short and sharp. Ray went to the dentist yesterday for a root canal. Mizuno shared some photos from her international vacation. Kawahara objects to owning pets and thinks all animals should be free. My cheeks glow crimson, my chest begins rising and falling quickly. I clutch the collar of my shirt, knuckles whitening, knees shaking. A few people in the carriage start to move away from me, but barely notice them. My fingers keep scrolling and I hit the jackpot. A new post from a co-worker at my office. Tomoe Watanabe. She's a gal, the type with heavy fake tan, bleached blonde hair and questionable clothes. I hate her, but I love her posts. This morning's update reads, Tomoe, 53 minutes ago. Just found this Corpse Girl website. Such fake bull, ha 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 ha. Waiting to meet a bitch to try it on. Tomoe just discovered Corpse Girl's website, huh? I feel a slight squeal trying to escape from my throat as my legs threaten to buckle underneath me. I can't take the excitement anymore and I have to force my phone from my hands and bury it at the bottom of my handbag. Deep breaths, Noriko, deep breaths. I need to calm down and control myself. Composure is key. I close my eyes and let a cool breath of air whistle through my slightly parted lips. Feeling a little calmer and no longer ready to explode, I analyse the information I just read. Tomoe wants to try out Corpse Girl's website. That's good. That's very, very good. Rumour has it that you can visit the website and request the death of somebody you know. How and if the victim dies isn't known to the public. Because of that, some people are pretty quick to dismiss the site as a hoax. However, the most interesting part isn't how or if the victim dies, but rather what happens to the victim before they die. Supposedly, the victim will receive a photo of their own corpse. How this photo exists before the victim's life is snuffed out isn't public knowledge, but the thought of this phenomena occurring is utterly intriguing. Nevertheless, the site has been gaining popularity lately, at least in certain corners of the internet. Message boards like Noise Channel and other similar sites have picked up on the rumours and like to exaggerate the website's authenticity. The fact that someone like Tomoe, a rather dense, dim-witted individual, has discovered the website means that it's actually more well known than I previously thought. It means that people are actually talking about it outside of the internet. Chances are good that Tomoe will want to try it out and request the death of someone in the office, a co-worker. Me perhaps. She hates my guts as much as I hate hers. Finally, something exciting is going to happen in our dull workplace.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
As the automated announcement reads through a list of connecting train lines, I get ready to disembark. The train pulls to a stop and I contort my body around the other passengers in an attempt to exit the train. Finally free of the tangled mess of flesh, I hasten my pace and navigate through the labyrinthine station. I take the exit closest to my office and settle into a slower walk. I'm on time and I never desire to reach the office any earlier than needed. It doesn't take long for the looming office tower to enter my field of vision. 32 stories of office space all crammed into one sleek, slim tower. The name Temujin is stamped across the structure in gigantic block letters. If you're looking for this building in Shinjuku, you can't possibly miss it. Temujin carries the title of Japan's third biggest banking corporation. It's a gigantic company with other branches in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Fukuoka, butchered that probably, and a dozen smaller cities I don't even remember. I've worked here for close to 3 months now, not a long time in the grand scheme of things. That said, I'm only a temp and all I do is data entry. I work on the 14th floor along with about 60 other junior employees, including gal girl, Tomoe Wantalami. I don't speak to many of my co-workers, that's the way I like it. When I reach the building, I enter through the giant double sliding doors and find myself in the familiar lobby. Comfortable couches line the walls circling a reception desk. 4 large elevators are tucked away in the nook behind the reception desk. It's already busy this morning, though to be fair, this place is packed all the time. I avoid the crowds of sharply dressed business people, feeling a little out of place in my semi-formal shirt and skirt. Ducking into a newly opened elevator, I tap my employee ID card to a backlit panel and press the button to my floor. The doors close and the elevator begins its smooth ascent. I'm surprised to find that I'm the only one travelling up. I reach my floor and listen to the soothing chime as the doors open, revealing the open layout office before me. The static drone of workspace noise fills my ears. Conversation, ringing phones, fingers tapping against the keyboards, the photocopiers, even the steady low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din. The random bolded and coloured words. Am I supposed to be taking note of that? I mean, the noise, I understand that noise got highlighted because it's the noise app. But why is photocopiers like, look at this word? Or is it any technology? Maybe it's technology gets highlighted. I make my way to my desk, stationed in the middle of the floor and surrounded by a dozen other identical desks. As I walk, somebody taps me on the shoulder gently.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Shinya Fukikawa. My senior, although he's really only a couple of months older than me. He's worked here for a whole year after taking an internship straight out of senior high school. He's not an intern anymore, though I'm not quite sure of his job title.
Morning, Fujikawa.
How was your commute this morning?
Fujikawa.
Fine, same as usual.
That's good to hear. Did you read any of your novels?
He's referring to the horror books I like to read. I can tell from his tone that he doesn't exactly approve of the subject matter. I've known Shinya since junior high. We go way back, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. However, he's the one that landed me this job, even though it's just a temporary contract. I've always had the feeling that he's a bit sweet on me. I could be way off the mark though.
Well, I couldn't get a seat on the train today. Too hard to read while standing.
Ah, that's a shame. You, still haven't accepted my, friend request, did you know?
I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes. He's a nice guy, but we were connected on Noise once before and I had to delete him. He's super obsessed with his father's detective work and all he ever posts about is his assumptions and theories on petty crime cases. Normally I'd find anyone on my friend list fascinating, but here's the thing. Shinya never posts about his personal life. All he writes are long-winded rants on boring cases. It's far beyond the amount of dullness even I can stand. I fish my phone out of my handbag and pretend that I'm looking at Noise.
Oh, how about that? Looks like I don't have any incoming friend requests.
I quickly dip my phone back into my bag.
How peculiar. Well, I'll try and nudge again later.
Sure, no problem.
Well, anyway, I better get to it. Work hard today, okay?
You got it.
Shinya offers a formal bow and goes on his way. Before I can take a step towards my desk, a mocking voice whispers in my ear.
How long are you gonna lead on sweet little Shinya?
Wow, those are hanging out, aren't they? It's no bra day today. Okay. I shiver and find Tomoe Wantana be lurking right behind me, buzzing around my neck like an irritating mosquito.
That poor boy really has the hots for you. When are you gonna tell him you're a cold-hearted psycho?
Listen, I'm not leading him on, and I'm no psycho.
Sounds like something a real psycho type would say, don't you reckon?
Of course, this is none other than Gal Tomoe, the same brain-dead moron who posted this morning about wanting to try Corpse Girl's website. She's the kind of person that likes to stir up trouble and instigate conflict. She has her vacant eyes on me since the first day I stepped into the office. She loves to torment me any chance she gets. Maybe I rubbed her the wrong way somehow, though I'm not sure what I ever did to her. Even though she's data entry temp like me, she's worked here just a little longer than I have. Unfortunately, that means I have to defer to her as my superior in this professional environment. She knows as much and likes to take advantage of the fact as often as possible.
It's funny, you know. You don't look like the type of skank to lead on a goody-goody like Shinya.
I told you, I'm not leading him on.
Well, if you're not interested, maybe I'll take him out this weekend and tongue him at the cinema.
Tongue him.
Gross. Do what you want, but I doubt he's into someone with your,
Oh yeah? What would you know? You think he likes your flat chest, little Miss Gothic Lolita?
I know I should shrug off comments such as this, and normally I would. But backing down from Tomoe isn't something I can do easily.
I'll give you a tip. Guys like Shinya are smart, clever. If you want to impress him, don't let him know your head is as full of air as your inflatable breasts.
A flash of crimson lights up Tomoe's face as she looks ready to lash out at me. A group of co-workers, juniors like us, look over to us in concern. Tomoe takes a step back from me, but not before signaling a rude gesture with her fingers.
We ain't done here, Noriko. Watch your back.
I'm trembling.
You're trying to goad her into using the website against you. Tomoe walks away and I breathe a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for having to deal with her, I wouldn't dread coming to work every day. Anyway, I wonder when she is planning to test out Corpse Girl's website. Will she try it on me since we just fought? I'm not really sure if I should be excited or scared. Either way, it will definitely be fun to find out what happens if she does try the website. I finally reach my desk and take note of the time I was supposed to start working 5 minutes ago, so I quickly log into my computer and check today's task list. It's all standard stuff today. I need to transfer a few tables of numbers from a spreadsheet into our company's online database. When I'm done, I have to run it by a few other people and then commit the changes to the server. The work is dull and repetitive, but my salary isn't bad. On the plus side, I get to wear headphones and listen to music while I work. I dip into my handbag and retrieve my headphones, my phone, a can of milk coffee, and a handful of breath mints. I lay them all out on my desk neatly. I slip my headphones on, plug them into my phone, and hit play on my work playlist. Loud symphonic metal lovingly thrashes my ears as I crack open a can of coffee and take a long sip.
Okay, let's get started.
I return home to my quiet, cramped apartment after work. See, she's working in data entry, which clearly pays more than retail. And that's how she lives, which is still good, but that's how she lives. In comparison to the one that said, I live in such a rough building, I work 4 days a week in retail, and she had a beautiful apartment. That is legitimately a small apartment. It would still cost millions in London. The place is eerily silent, a stark contrast to the bustling office where I spend my days. Throwing my handbag onto the tiny coffee table, I pick up my laptop and sit on the couch. I lie back and get comfortable, letting the laptop rest on my stomach as it boots up. The welcome screen loads up, so I click a couple of times, open my web browser, and then head to a very specific website saved in my favourites. Corpse Girl's website. A cute dancing zombie girl is animated at the top of the page, a peculiar irregularity that always makes me giggle. I noticed that the page view counter at the bottom of the site is nearly the same as it was yesterday. There have been maybe 4 or 5 new visitors. I heave a sigh. Maybe the website isn't quite as well known after all. That begs the question, how did Tomoe discover it? Well, I never mind that. My eyes scan the website's content. Request a death, big bold letters headline the site. The intention couldn't be clearer. Further information on the site is sparse. Brief instructions tell the user to fill in a victim's phone number and upload a photo. Aside from that, there's not much else to mention. It doesn't even ask for a name. After scanning the site, I move my mouse to the browser's address bar and click. I type a / after the website's address and then add the word admin. I hit the enter key. A login page presents itself with empty username and password files waiting to be filled in. My fingers tap dance around the keyboard, and within moments I'm presented with a brand new page. A blinking slab of text greets me. One new request. A crooked smile cracks my stony expression. Finally, somebody has requested a death. Somebody has asked me, Corpse Girl, to kill a victim. This is where things get exciting. I giggle and feel my cheeks flush red. This is the first request I've had for about a week. I've been logging in every evening, fingers crossed that somebody has elected a new victim for me. Today my wish has come true. I can't help but feel emotional at a time like this. My lower lip trembles and I feel tears welling up. I dab the corners of my eyes gently to avoid smudging my makeup. As I hover my mouse cursor over the view request button, a familiar and pleasant tingling sensation surges in my chest, my stomach, my thighs. I shiver with anticipation, my hot and steamy breath beginning to fog up the laptop screen. I click the button. Request details. Today, local time, victim's phone, downloading image attachment. The victim's photo automatically loads on my screen. The person in front of me is a total stranger, but that's okay, it doesn't change the task set out before me. A woman, rather plain, in her early 30s, she's well dressed with minimal makeup, and she's not really putting her personality on display. It's a nice photo, better quality than some of the images I've received in the past. In fact, the photo looks like a corporate ID picture. I wonder if it was downloaded from a company database or website. Well, the source of the photo doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is that somebody has made a request for this person to die. It falls to me to fulfill that request, and as Corpse Girl, I take requests very, very seriously. I have the victim's photo and I have her phone number. All I need now is select a way for her to meet her untimely demise. I've previously thought about including an extra field on my website, an option for the user to choose the way they want their victim to die. After all, it would reduce the amount of strain on my creativity if the method was decided for me. But after careful consideration, I decided against it. Some people are sick, twisted. The cause of death should be far beyond my means and impossible to achieve. Therefore, allowing the user to define the cause of death just isn't feasible. Instead, I'll stick to my current modus operandi. Everything depends on the quality of the victim's photo. If it's detailed and the victim's features are easily distinguishable, then I can be rather creative with the cause of death. Perhaps the victim's face suffers a grotesque burns or she has an iron stake thrust through her skull. However, if the victim's photo is low quality and doesn't provide enough detail to identify the subject, I have to resort to the default case of death. Terrible unlucky fall from a great height. Maybe she slips, maybe someone stumbles into her and sends her tumbling over a rail. The end result will be the same, swift crushing death from on high. The victim will end up face down on the concrete, completely unrecognisable save for her clothes and accessories. It's not my favourite cause of death, but in some cases it is necessary. Regardless, it's still a valid way to fulfil the request. For now, it's time to get started. I can barely contain my excitement. I squirm against the couch, crossing and uncrossing my legs in a vain attempt to dissipate the heat rising through my body. Taking a deep breath, I try to calm my nerves and get to work. The victim will receive a photo of her own corpse timestamped with the date of her death. It's Corpse Girl's signature move, my calling card if you will. Seeing an image of one's own disfigured corpse is sure to strike fear into one's heart. And that's precisely the reason I take this step, to make the victim panic and act rashly. First things first, I save the victim's photo to my laptop's hard drive. I store it in a folder discreetly named System Files, hidden away in the root directory of my operating system, a password encrypted directory of course. Next, I open up my favourite image editing software and load the photo. Looking carefully at the detail in the picture, I can see that this will be a work of art. I can really go to town with this request. I minimise the software, open my web browser and access a particular website. The database of the deceased, the DD as it's known in the dark web, my secret weapon, the ultimate resource for my work. The DD is a collection of countless high-resolution photographs of dead bodies, murder victims, crime scenes, suicides. If somebody has died in one way or another, chances are good that some perverted individual has captured the moment in all its gory glory. Such valuable images are essential to my work. Using these photos as a base, I can edit my victim's details into the picture. My process is simple. I start by locating the perfect corpse photo. I search the database and in less than 2 minutes I discover a disgustingly detailed photo of a woman with her entrails spilling from her stomach. Her face is blue, having suffocated before even having a chance to bleed to death. She's about the same age as my victim. She's of a similar height and build. Finding a photo that specifically suits my victim's features is easy thanks to the DD's excellent catalogue of tags and filters. Why are you pushing that? They've pushed a pellet bowl in the middle of the floor. I simply search for the keyword that matches my victim's description and find a corpse that fits. Using this photo as a starting point, I digitally edit my victim's face onto the body. It's not some quick job that even a child can do. It's a painstakingly crafted work of art that would fool even the keenest eye. An hour passes, then 2, then 3. Before I know it, midnight has come and gone, but the work is nearing completion. All that remains is to add the final touches. I like to add specific, distinguishable details to the image. A personal item or accessory, clothes, makeup, you name it, I can edit it in. With the personal details added, I adjust the lighting and colour palette, just slightly enough to make the photo truly unique. If the victim decides to reverse image search the photo and discovers that it's a forgery, all my work would be for naught. And with that, the masterpiece is complete. A grisly, gruesome, gratuitously gory gift for the soon-to-be departed. The victim will receive this photo of a corpse that is, for all intents and purposes, a perfect replica of her own physical form. She will open the image on her phone and the life she once knew will crumble to pieces. My lips curl into a satisfied smirk. During my hours of work, my breathing eventually steadied. My excited nerves settled into a zen-like calm. But seeing the finished art piece now, I begin to feel my heart pounding once more. The macabre version before me is exhilarating. Adrenaline and dopamine surge through my body, giving me a sudden head rush of bliss. To say I'm attracted to the sight of blood and guts would be misleading. No, I'm not into that at all. The excitement stems from the thought of taking control of somebody else's life, dictating their future, controlling their fate. For with the creation of this image, I have taken the victim's life into my own hands, like a puppet master pulling the strings of a marionette. By forging this convincing creation, I will compel the victim to take her own life. That's right, my own hands need not become stained. The hands of Corpse Girl have never been dirtied with the blood of a victim. This is the true nature of my work. Carefully crafting corpse photos in such a way to convince the victim that their fate is already sealed, that no matter what they do, they cannot escape the death that awaits them. and the date stamped on the photo is the icing on the cake, the ultimate driving force behind the victim choosing to end their own life. A date so near in the future, time that has not yet occurred, a fibre of uncertainty carefully interwoven into the image that causes the victim to pause and consider the possibilities. Is this photo from the future? Is this truly my fate? How can I outrun a future that has been pre-decided? These are the thoughts that run through a victim's mind. Despair and dread flood the senses. Overwhelming anxiety gives way to calm acceptance. This is my dead body. This is how I die. Why should I fight it? And when the victim's last vestige of resilience gently breaks into the spider web being torn by a cool breeze, they finally give in. They invite their end. This is the way it will go down for this woman, this complete and total stranger. I'm confident, certain, convinced. It was a sudden spark of inspiration that guided me to begin fabricating corpse photos about a year ago. I can never quite recall exactly what it was that spawned the idea. Sometimes I get close to remembering, but the recollection dances at the edge of my mind and slips back into the darkness. Regardless, I ventured down a dark and dangerous path. I built Corpse Girl's website and invited strangers to request the deaths of people they knew. It was a sales tactic, simply a way to encourage users to submit images. I had no intention or means of ending lives. Little did I know of the true power I wielded. I only intended to create corpse photos and send them to people for fun. I wanted to startle and scare some unsuspecting fools. It would be a lie to claim I didn't get off on it. The thought of people shrieking in fear at the sight of their own corpse was more than delicious. It sated my budding lust. It filled a dark hole in the depths of my soul and gave me purpose. Never in a million years did I dream that one of my corpse photos would result in the death of another human being. I'll never forget her name, Ruri Hatano. 20-something, slim, gorgeous eyes that took my breath away the moment I gazed upon her portrait. She was the first person to make me feel bad about crafting hoax photos, the only person to make me feel bad about it. But I did it anyway. Corpse Girl never rejects a request. It's her, my conviction. I forged a beautiful rendition of her death. Thanks to some rather macabre source photos obtained via the database of the deceased, I strung Ruby's corpse up in a field like a ghoulish scarecrow. The photo was incredible. It was my 5th or 6th work, the 5th or 6th time a user of Corpse Girl's website requested a death. Rui Hatano died just hours after receiving the photo. I don't know why. I don't know if she killed herself or if somebody murdered her. But I know one thing. Ruri Hatano's body, her real body, was found in a field, hanging like a scarecrow, surrounded by crows. Her eyes had been gouged out, her skull and her stiff fingers clutched her phone tightly. According to a news report, her phone displayed a familiar image, the very image I created of her corpse. When I first learned of Ruri's death, I was overcome with varying emotions. I felt sick, elated, disgusted, overjoyed, depressed, aroused. Had I somehow caused her death? Was Corpse Girl responsible for taking a life? Even though my hands weren't stained with the blood, I still felt responsible. Who's that? Who's that who just ran up the ramp? Who is that? What guinea pig? It's Topanga! Hello, Topanga! Oh, I'm doing a lot of reading, Topanga. Okay. A lurid truth descended upon me at that moment. Corpse Girl held the power to end lives, and the more I dwelled on that fact, the more obvious it became to me. I began to feel that power pulsing through my veins, thrumming in my blood as my heart pumped and pounded within my chest. I can't explain how the power works, and I don't know why I have it. But somehow the corpse photos I create can compel a victim to end their own life, or compel someone else to end it for them. Ruri Ruri died in the way that I envisioned. Her dead body matched the fake's corpse photo I painstakingly crafted. And I didn't even have to leave the safety and comfort of my apartment to ensure her death. Corpse Girl's power is real, extraordinary, and I vowed to exercise that power as frequently as possible. Ruri Hatano died last year. Since then, I've been chasing that rush, that thrill that comes with snuffing out a soul. It wasn't hard to grow the popularity of Corpse Girl's website after that incident. Particularly dark corners of the internet gobbled up the news with enthusiasm, and the site saw an influx of new visitors. And on a few occasions, I've even overheard people in the real world whispering about the mysterious website that lets you request a death. I've crafted corpse photos for dozens of requests. Each photo is more convincing and realistic than the last, thanks to my ever-evolving skills. But none of my recent attempts have been successful. Not a single person has dropped dead since Ruri Hatano. I'm beginning to wonder if Corpse Girl's power has fizzled out. Or perhaps I never had any power to begin with. Maybe Ruri's death was simply a fluke, a morbid coincidence. I've spent countless hours doubting myself, doubting Corpse Girl. I tried so hard to replicate that one success. Every time I receive a request, I do the same thing as I did in Ruri Hatano's case. I edit the photo of the victim, I create a convincing corpse photo, and I timestamp it with the time of death. I send the photo to the victim, and then I leave the rest up to fate. But nothing ever comes of it. I'm not so delusional to think that in normal circumstances a simple photo would be enough to convince someone to kill themselves. And even if that photo fell into someone else's hands, it wouldn't inspire them to go out and kill the victim. Of course not. However, these are no ordinary circumstances. I once activated a power beyond the ken of mortal men. I caused Ruri Hatano to die by her own hand or by the hand of another. I need to find a way to manifest my power once more, to prove that I, Corpse Girl, have the power of death and destruction at my fingertips. Once a new victim perishes, I know it will pave the way to more and more deaths. My website will gain popularity and become more than just an urban myth. People will live their lives in fear, forever wondering if Corpse Girl is lurking behind the next text message they receive. Yes, I can see the future. I crave so clearly in my mind. I'm close to achieving my goal. I know I am. And when my dream comes true, I can finally... The incessant chirping of birds gently kindles the embers of my consciousness. My heavy eyelids open to find my body contorted before me, legs splayed across the couch in the most uncomfortable position I can imagine. I groan and twist my torso, letting my spine pop and crack until the aches in my body drift away. I need to stop falling asleep on the couch. I'm still young, but I can't handle a night away from my comfortable bed. My eyes fall upon my open laptop lying on its side on the floor. The screen is blank, the battery drained. I briefly panic, hoping against hope that I saved my work before falling asleep. I stumble to my feet and pick up the laptop, then charge towards the power outlet. I plug it in and boot up, revitalizing the mechanical beast and feeling a wave of relief as the whirring of internal fans signify the breath of life. The screen flickers and bathes my eyes in harsh light. My eyes squint against my will and make out the image before me. The mutilated corpse of my latest victim, perfection in picture form. The timestamp in the lower corner reads May 27th, 11:07 AM, tomorrow's date. The photo is ready to be sent out. If I send it now, the victim will receive it immediately, notice the date and realise that her death is imminent. It's time to set the wheels of demise in motion. Leaving my laptop at the outlet, I quickly dart into the kitchen. Well, to call it a kitchen is misleading. It's simply a tiled area connected to my living space with a small refrigerator, microwave oven and a single hot plate. A small stack of drawers is nestled next to the fridge and I pull open the second drawer from the top. Plunging my hand inside is always an odd sensation. My fingers get buried underneath a dozen cheap plastic flip phones. I grasp one of the phones between my thumb and forefinger and remove it from the drawer. It's a scratched up pink model from 2010 or so, a relic from a time not that long ago but that may as well be forgotten. I flip the screen up and turn the device on, relieved to see this artifact still holds power. To be fair, I charged up all of these phones just a few weeks ago, but the fact that they retain a charge after being inactive for so long is a testament to their engineering. If any shady line of work, these kinds of phones are referred to as burners, cheap, disposable devices that are discarded as soon as their purpose is fulfilled. I acquire them by rather unsavoury means, but that's neither here nor there. I use these phones to send out the photos I make. By doing this, I avoid using my personal phone and thus prevent anything from being traced back to me. When a photo has been sent, I keep the burner phone for 24 hours just in case the victim sends a reply. I know I get a good laugh out of that. Of course, I don't keep the phone on my person. I store it in an old shed out the back of my apartment building. When the 24 hours have passed, I remove the phone's SIM card, snap it in half and discard it with the combustible trash. The phone itself gets smashed and trashed in the dumpsters outside a convenience store. I also delete the photos off my hard drive and clear my internet history. Obviously, I don't even use my own internet connection at home. I leech off my gullible neighbour's Wi-Fi. He's under the impression I can't afford my own internet connection. Whether or not I convinced him of such is irrelevant, so he's happy to share his connection with me. Should the police ever try to track my actions, they'll only be led straight to my neighbour. I've gone to great lengths to ensure my actions are untraceable. This has all been in anticipation of my inevitable success. Looking down at the pink phone in my hand, I clear my mind and focus on the task before me. The photo is transferred easily from my laptop to the burner phone. Once complete, I open the text messaging app and enter the victim's phone number. I leave the message field blank, but I attach the photo. Of course, the victim will receive an empty text message from an unknown number with only an image attached. The message is just about ready to send, but there's one more flourish I'd like to add. I open a particular app I previously downloaded to every burner phone. It's simply called Number Mask, and it's one of the most ingenious apps I've ever used. The app asks for the number I want to use. I punch in my memorised trademark 66633, 66622, 66644, 666. Now whenever I send a text message, the receiver will see these numbers appear on the caller ID. Not only does it mask the burner's real phone number, but it's an extra calling card to help boost my infamy. I smirk, my thumb hovering over the send message button. This is it. This is going to be my long-awaited victory. The second victim to end up dead. I just know it. This is a stepping stone to my success. The second of many bodies that will pave the way to my glory. I send the message. I arrive at work on time, just as usual. My handbag is heavy with the weight of several cans of coffee, hopefully enough to help me power through the day after having had such a late night. I can't help but yawn loudly and wait for the elevator in the lobby. Ooh, just before the elevator doors open, my phone starts to ring. I step aside and answer my
Hey.
call.
Hi, Noriko. Good morning. Did I call at a bad time? Not at all. I'm just about to go into the office. Oh, should I call back later? It's no problem. Don't stress. Okay, sorry.
The nervous, apologetic girl on the other end of the call is Aoi. Satu, an old school friend from back in the day. Though we never really had any common interests, we used to be inseparable at school. She was shy, she was introverted. It was a combination that worked in our favour, even if our conversations were a little on the boring side. To say that we're no longer shy and introverted wouldn't be entirely true. Aoi has gotten better. She's definitely more outgoing, but she still suffers a great deal of social anxiety. As for me, I'm still pretty introverted. My tolerance for being around other people has improved a bit, but I do prefer solitude, and visiting places I've never been to before puts me on edge. To call Aoi my best friend would be accurate. She's my closest confidant. Even so, she knows nothing about my part-time masquerading as corpse girl. No one does, and I plan to keep it that way.
So, Aoi, what did you want to talk about? Oh, well, you see, that guy at work is still bothering me, and I wanted to see if you had any more advice for me. Ah, jeez. The older guy that always hits on you? Yeah. What a creep. You're 19, for God's sake. He must be, what, 50? I think he's 52. You know his actual age? Well, whatever. If he's still bothering you, you have to take a stand. He's not your coworker, right? Just a regular customer? That's right. Then tell your manager. Have him banned from the venue. I can't talk to the manager. I don't want to cause trouble for the company. Jeez, girl. Sometimes you need to stand on your own 2 feet. I know. Well, if talking to the manager is out of the question, then you need to be firm with the creep. Tell him you won't stand for being groped anymore. His behavior is simply unacceptable, and if he won't change, you won't serve him anymore. He's scary, Noriko. I don't know if I can confront him like that. He's always drunk. Even before he comes into the place, I try not to serve him too much, but... Are you sure you can't quit that stupid job? Working at a maid cafe really doesn't suit you at all. I thought you wanted a government position. I do. I want to work in a cozy office, kind of like you, but you know I don't have any qualifications. Why don't I see if there's anything open here? Maybe Shinya can help out. He got me this job, remember? Shinya? Maybe. He was always a nice guy, right? He's super nice. Stick in the mud, but a nice one. Noriko, don't be mean. Yeah. You want me to ask? Yes, please. If it's no trouble. It's no trouble. I'll talk to Shinya. Then maybe you can quit that crappy job and come work with me. Oh, that really does sound wonderful. Thank you, Noriko. I'd be so lost without you. Don't be silly. You're amazing, Aoi. Leave this to me. Thank you.
I end the call and heave a sigh. Having to go and ask Shinya about a job actually is a pain in the ass, but I'd never admit that to Aoi. I want to help the poor girl. I really do. I'll do nearly anything for her. The elevator arrives at the lobby and I step inside as soon as the doors open.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Ah, Fujikawa. Good morning.
Shinya takes me by surprise as I exit the elevator. He's been waiting for me here?
I wanted to catch you before we sit down to work. I sent you another friend request. Can you make sure you got it this time?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What am I supposed to do when he puts me on the spot like this? I try not to groan as I get my phone out and open up noise. It's impossible to hide my screen from Shinya's piercing gaze.
Well, what do you know? I have a new friend request.
Oh, great. It worked this time. Go ahead and accept it, please.
Yeah, sure thing.
I hesitantly accept the request. A little fireworks animation pops up on the screen with a celebratory message about making a new friend.
Yay! Looks like we're officially friends now. So, can I call you Noriko from now on?
I've never cared much for formalities. I try to adhere to them in the workplace, but honestly, I don't care if people refer to me by my first or last name, regardless of whether they're friends or not.
That's fine. You can call me Noriko.
Did you just leap out? Did you just spring into action, tiny little Topanga? Oh, you're so excited. Shinya's eyes light up. That seems to have made the boy happy.
Thank you! Oh, you can call me Shinya, of course.
Shinya. Hey, we've known each other since junior high, right? Shouldn't we have been on a first-name basis anyway?
Yes, that's true, but we're in the office now, you know? It wouldn't do if you started working here and called me Shinya right away.
I suppose.
Anyway, I'm really glad we're proper friends now, Noriko. Maybe we can get a coffee sometime.
I can't help but feel he's trying to push his luck as far as it will go. Any suspicions I had about him having a crush on me are now confirmed. I brush a stray lock of hair out of my face and smile as sweetly as I can while I change the subject.
Hey, actually, I wanted to ask you something. Are there any more temp jobs available here right now?
Temp jobs, huh? Are you looking to pick up extra hours?
No, not exactly. I'm asking for a friend who needs a new job.
A friend of Noriko's. Well, let's see. We pretty much always have data entry roles up for grabs. Unless your friend wants something more interesting? Do they have any particular qualifications?
Not really. Data entry is more than fine. Actually, you already know who I'm talking about. Remember Aoi Sato?
Aoi Sato. Yes, I think I do remember her. That really shy girl from our school days, correct?
That's her, yeah.
Wow. I never knew you were still in touch with school friends, Noriko.
Aoi's probably the only one. We're fairly close.
Is that so? As for me, I don't really have any friends from back then.
Shinya's heartbreaking confession doesn't surprise me too much. He doesn't strike me as the type of person to have many friends at all. Sure, I'm the same, but...
But what am I saying? We're friends now. So I guess I do keep in touch with school friends.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I'll ask my superior if we can get Sato an interview. Is that okay?
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you, Shinya.
No problem. Leave it to me.
He gives me an awkward salute before skipping away. Our little exchange has obviously made him pretty happy. For some reason, something that Tomoe wannabe said yesterday pops into my head. She mentioned that I'm leading Shinya on, but that's not true, is it? I shake this thought out of my head. I'm just being nice to him. That's not wrong, is it? I take a seat on my desk and perform my morning ritual. From my handbag I retrieve my headphones, coffee and breath mints. Computer on, music playing, coffee open. My fingers tap rhythmically against the keyboard and I slip into the usual workday trance. Ooh, sunset.
I see that you're connected with Shinya on noise now, huh?
My walk to the train station is interrupted by a familiar, grating voice.
Sounds like both of you are getting on pretty well.
How did you...
Of course, Tomoe and I are already friends on Noise. She would have seen the notification when I accepted Shinya's request. It's actually kind of strange that Tomoe and I are connected through the app. We added each other on my first day of work before I learned how much of an intolerable excuse for a human being she is. We simply never deleted each other, even after all these months. Her posts are entertaining anyway. And since I rarely ever post anything myself, she probably forgot we were connected at all, until today.
Now look, don't get me wrong, you hear? I ain't actually interested in Shinya. Nah, I'm real happy for you both, like. But what I can't stand is a skank like yourself getting some while I'm over here all dry like a desert.
What the hell are you talking about?
It pisses me off that guys just sluts like you, and you barely have to put in any work.
Sluts like, yeah.
Meanwhile, nice girls like me gotta put in so much effort to even get noticed.
Just buy a bra, woman. Just buy a bra.
You think all of this is just natural? I put so much effort into how I look, you know? And guys like Shinya don't even bat an eyebrow at me.
You mean bat an eyelid, right?
Whatever, it don't matter. I'm sick of skanks like you getting everything for nothing.
Look, let me be honest with you. I'm not interested in Shinya, and I'm not trying to be with him.
How do you call someone a skank when you are literally got your tits hanging out?
I don't chase guys, and it's pretty rare that they chase me. You've got me all wrong.
Like I'd believe you. Do you spend your time chasing chicks then?
That's not your business. But you don't have to worry about me pursuing Shinya. Tell you what, any guy at the office is all yours, okay? I'm not interested.
Oh, is that how it's gonna be, slut? You think no one is good enough for you, but they're good enough for me?
Yes?
You're just like all the other girls. You think I'm worth being pitied? You think I need it? Well, I don't want your pity. You're nothing but a fake skank.
A fake skank. She's only pretending to be a skank. Tomoe pushes forward, her bulk forcing me off the sidewalk and into the thicket of trees bordering the path. The burning slap across my face comes out of nowhere. I'm blinded by white stars and my entire face feels like it's on fire. The strike is hard, sharp, vicious. It happens so suddenly that I'm having difficulty processing it. I stumble, but my legs don't quite give out. My mind races, trying to put together what just happened. Tomoe hit me. What? Why did she hit me? There's a strange sort of disconnect in my mind. My body doesn't feel like my own. Like this isn't actually happening to me, but rather I'm watching it happen to someone else. Time seems to slow down and speed up all at once. The slap replays twice in my mind before Tomoe's hand even leaves my face. I catch a glimpse of her furious expression, red and strained and overcome with anger.
I hate you. I hate everyone like you. Don't pity me.
The second strike connects with my chin and I flinch, my entire body paralyzed with pain. She hit me again.
Stop!
I hate you. I hate you!
Tomoe has lost it. She's absolutely furious and I can't figure out what I did wrong. Her third attack is a curled fist aimed straight at my stomach. Through sheer luck or complete accident, I tumble backwards, narrowly avoiding the punch and instead landing on my rear. The pavement is rough and hard, but I'm sure it feels a lot better than taking a fist in the gut. Tomoe screams and rushes at me, but I scramble to my feet and grab her by the wrists. She flails widely, her eyes looking like they'll pop out of her skull at any given second. Her breathing is harsh and ragged, and tears of rage have caused a flood of clotted makeup to run down her face.
Calm down! Calm down!
She struggles against me, slowly giving in as my tight grip prevents her from attacking me further. She begins to sob softly.
I hate you! I hate everything about you!
With a great pull, Tomoe frees herself from my grip. She steps away, cursing, and then runs past me. I blink in disbelief as she breaks into a sprint, heading in the direction of the train station. I raise a hand to my tender face and touch it gently. The stinging sensation is completely new to me. Never before have I been attacked like that.
What the hell was all that about? I can't believe she hit me.
The pack of frozen vegetables pressed against my face soothes my swollen jaw, but does very little to calm my nerves. I'm still on edge after what happened today. Tomoe actually physically attacked me, all because I said something, I'm not sure what, that provoked her anger. Maybe that girl is more complicated than I gave her credit for. Seems like she has her own inner demons, just like the rest of us. Now that she's gone absolutely dilally and physically assaulted me, I maybe like her. I've replayed the event in my head 100 times since returning home. Without confronting Tomoe about it, I don't think I'll ever figure out what incited her aggression. But I don't plan on talking to her about it anytime soon. I wouldn't say I'm scared of her, but I don't exactly want to encourage a repeat performance. I rest the bag of frozen vegetables on a small coffee table next to me. I think I've done all I can to reduce the painful swelling for now. Sighing and leaning back, I let the soft padding of the couch consume my body as I sink deeper. My eyes glaze over as I bring the phone to my face. My fingers lazily tap and scroll as I look through a carefully curated obituary newsfeed, a list of deaths that have been reported throughout the day. Using a set of handy filters, I narrow the feed down to include only women's deaths in the age range of 30 to 50. I set the location to cover all of Japan. I immediately exclude any results that mention natural causes of death. I'm looking for specific cases, suicides, or as more often reported, accidents. Of course, I'm looking to find out whether my latest victim has offed herself yet. Should this search return no results, then it's pretty easy to look up recent murders. They're few and far between. Between suicides, accidents and murders, I've covered all the potential ways my victim could die. 9 out of 10 of the search results include a photograph of the deceased. Not a photo of their corpse, mind you. This isn't the database of the deceased I'm looking through. Rather, it's usually a nice flattering picture of the recently departed submitted by their kin to go along with their obituary. I used the photos submitted with the obituaries to compare and match with the images of my victims. This is the only reliable way I have to discover whether or not my victims have perished. If I knew a victim's name, I could easily look up their current fate, but my website doesn't ask for that information. Call it respect for the victim's privacy, but there's a lot more to it than that. But that's a topic to dwell on another day. Tonight's search turns up no solid leads. I'm disappointed, but the result isn't entirely unexpected. After all, I set the date on my latest victim's photograph to tomorrow. There's still time for her to freak out and end it all. I decide to go to sleep early tonight. I'm not even feeling hungry enough to eat the cheap convenience store meal that's been sitting in my fridge since yesterday. Though if I go to sleep now, it will feel like tomorrow arrives sooner. Tomorrow. I'll have to see Tomoe at work. There's no way I can avoid her since her desk is so close to mine. The idea doesn't sit well with me. On the other hand, my victim might conquer herself, which would definitely make me feel better. It could very well be my next success, and the suspense is just about enough to kill me. Tomorrow. Wednesday morning. My typing is hesitant and distracted this morning. My fingers falter, misstep and tap backspace repetitively. There's no good. I can't focus on work while I'm staring at the top of Tomoe's head, popping up from behind the monitor a few desks away. Even my work playlist isn't inspiring me to pulverize the keyboard today. Normally, a blast of pure volume and a shot of caffeine is enough to carry me to the greatest heights of productivity. I press a finger to my pursed lips, trying hard to regain my focus. I absent-mindedly noticed that I missed the edge of my top lip when applying lipstick this morning. Damn, I'm really out of sorts today. At least I managed to apply some extra blush to cover up the faint bruising on my face. I might have overdone it a little, but it's better than looking like I just stepped out of a boxing ring.
Good morning, Noriko! Boy, have I got some neat news for you!
I'm so absorbed in my own thoughts that I barely register Shinya standing in front of my desk.
Noriko? Excuse me? Noriko? Are you in there?
Huh?
My eyes fixate on Shinya's goofy smile. I quickly remove my headphones.
Fujikawa, Shinya. Sorry. Hi.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Tired is all.
Oh, I hear you. I was up late last night. Boy, I must have been up past 10. Just could not put down this new crime thriller I've been reading.
Oh, yeah, right. I was up late reading too.
Your horror novels, right? Don't they leave you feeling a little scared before you go to sleep?
No, not really. It's all fiction, so it's pretty easy to distinguish from reality.
Is that so? Wow, that's not like my book at all. The crimes in this story are all based on real cases. My jaw hits the floor every time I turn the page.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Anyway, let me tell you this. Your friend Sato can take a data entry opening starting from Monday. She doesn't even need to interview. That's how much the boss trusts me.
I'm genuinely impressed with Shinya's ability to score Aoi a job. I'm gonna call her what is it? Aioli? That garlic dip thing? I'm gonna accidentally say that. Aoi a job. Say what you want about the guy, but the bigwigs obviously have faith in him.
Wow, Shinya! I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't thank me yet. Sato is going to be worked to the bone. I hope she's prepared for it.
Trust me, anything will be better than her current job. Really, thank you, Shinya. You came through for us here.
Well, I'm just happy to help. Hey, Noriko, can I ask you something?
Sure, shoot.
Shoot! Oh, right. An expression.
An expression? A human expression.
Sorry, I just remembered this case in the novel I'm reading, where a police officer shoots at a perp only to...
Hey, you, wanted to ask me something?
Right. Are you friends with Watanabe?
I blink a couple of times.
Tomoe?
You're on a first-name basis with her. Then you must be great friends.
I mean, I wouldn't say...
Listen, would you mind putting in a good word for me with her? I'm kind of interested in, taking her out sometime. But I could never ask her myself.
I'm stunned, gobsmacked, speechless. Shinya likes Tomoe. I thought he likes me. Is my intuition wrong? I wonder if the clues have been in front of me this whole time. What else haven't I been seeing?
Noriko? What do you say?
Shinya, look. Honestly, I'm not really friends with Tomoe. I don't think I can help you.
Oh, I see. That's a shame. I thought maybe you were close. Darn. I guess there's not much to be done, is there? Even after I helped you and Sato out and all.
You could ask her yourself. Is he seriously trying to guilt me? I have to hand it to him. I didn't think he had it in him.
Well, I suppose you can just tell Sato to start work on Monday morning. Guess I'll see you around the office then.
Shinya leaves and I bury my face in my hands. Has this world gone mad all of a sudden? Shinya likes Tomoe, not me. It's not that I'm disappointed. Hell, I don't have feelings for the guy, but for him to be interested in someone vapid like her just blows my mind. To add insult to literal injury, Tomoe assaulted me yesterday. She has a vicious, violent side to her that Shinya doesn't know about. He could be in real danger if he pursues her. I'm completely unable to process what I should do. Shinya scored Aoi a job. Aoi a job, and I'm truly thankful. Do I feel like I owe him one? A job? Should I ask Tomoe out for him or warn him about her? I need to clear my head. I decide to step away from my desk and visit the restroom. Though I've no need to use the restroom, I enter a stall and lock the door behind me. Sitting on the toilet's closed lid, I lean back and exhale. I'm getting too caught up in office drama. That's what the issue is. It's unlike me. I'm supposed to be stoic, unflinching. It's my ideology, my entire identity. My emotions are better locked away than stitched on my sleeve. I'm Corpse Girl, for crying out loud. My purpose is bigger than all of this. I'm destined for greatness. The day will come when people fear my name, right? I shake the doubts from my mind and I shake the doubts from my mind and part my cheeks. She is on the toilet. I'm doing all of this for the right reasons. I know I am. If I start doubting myself now, I'll never see my mission through. An unfamiliar jingle rings out through the restroom, echoing off the walls. It sounds like a phone alert, but where did it come from? It takes me a few seconds to realise I have my own phone in my hands and it's vibrating incessantly. I must have grabbed it subconsciously from my desk when I stood up. The screen is lit up and a message reads, "One new article matches your custom filter." Dead body lol. Wait, what? The auto news feeds I set up last night, it actually located something? I hurriedly unlocked my screen and opened a certain app, the same app I was trawling through last night looking for obituaries. A little unread mail icon sits at the top of the screen, blinking and practically shouting for my attention. I hit the icon and read the information presented to me. Article posted online today, 11:22 AM. Keywords found: Ms. Accident, numerical data range 30 to 50. Image data found: yes. Wednesday, May 27th. Miss Akane Chusumaki, 36, of Chiba Prefecture, was pronounced dead this morning at her personal residence, 8:38 AM. The chief coroner reports that Mr. Tsurumaki was involved in an accident resulting in self-asphyxiation. Miss Shiramaki is survived by her husband, Mr. Goro Shiramaki, and their daughter, Miss Fu Shiramaki. A funeral service will be held on Friday. I'm sorry, but that's quick. She's not even cold. Funeral's arranged. View image attachment. I hurriedly tap the button and gasp as the image loads. It's her, the photo. It's unmistakably the same woman. Plain features, little makeup, no signs of a personality. Akane Shiramaki, the latest victim to receive a photo of her own corpse. My breathing stops all of a sudden. I'm gasping for air, my cheeks on fire, my fingers numb. I did it. My meticulously crafted photo caused this woman to end her own life. An accident resulting in self-asphyxiation, meaning she died by suicide, strangled herself or held her head down in the bath. The news never reports anything as a suicide. It's such a taboo topic in this culture. Everything is always an accident. All this time I've been trying to compel somebody to kill themselves. My corpse photos constantly becoming more and more elaborate, more and more convincing and realistic. And now somebody has died again because of me, because of Corpse Girl. I was right all along. I do possess power. I have the power to end lives through my work, my art. I've known it all this time, and I've finally proven it. Rui Hatano's death planted the seeds of belief in my mind, the belief that Corpse Girl is more than a mortal being. And now, Akane Shiramaki, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that anywhere close to right, demise has caused those seeds to bloom and blossom into pure certainty. Corpse Girl truly can end life. It's a wonderful revelation and it relieves my turbulent mind. However, I can't get my fingers to scroll back up to reread the obituary. My hands aren't functioning, my legs dangle lifelessly from the toilet seat, and my coffee from this morning is working its way back up my throat. I feel the sting of tears in my eyes, sweat trickles on my forehead dripping down my uncharacteristically thick makeup. All of a sudden, I can't breathe, my lungs refuse to take in any more oxygen. I panic and fall forward, miraculously slamming my hands into the stool to prevent my head from colliding with the floor. My nails scrape against the door's enamel paint, peeling chunks of green from the surface as I slide down and down until my head rests uncomfortably on the damp tiles. My eyes roll back and my tongue lolls out the side of my mouth, dangerously close to the tiled floor, but completely out of my sight and mind. I taste foundation and blush, a little bit of sweat, and then nothing as the still air envelops my taste buds. My photo killed that woman. That woman killed herself because of my photo. My photo killed that woman. That woman killed herself because of my photo. My woman killed that photo of herself because of that photo of the woman who killed herself in that photo. My eyes begin to regain their focus and my stomach turns, heaves and shakes, and warm coffee spills up from my lips as I try to smile but only manage to gurgle. The gritty paint underneath my fingernails has a rough texture that I don't like very much. I feel queasy and ecstatic at the same time. It's horribly wonderful feeling that I could do without. So much for stoic, unflinching Noriko. Remember stoic, unflinching Noriko? This is her, writhing on the bathroom floor, her lungs working once more, and her breath ragged and gasping, sucking in air like a mosquito sucks in blood. This is Noriko. Noriko with her grandiose fantasies of death and killing people without having to kill them at all, without having to leave her apartment because the outside world is scary and there are people out there probably trying to kill her. This is Noriko, me, the real me, acting tough and fearless when I'm crying out on the inside. Always sad, always miserable, always lying on the bathroom floor with my fists clenched and my phone resting in a puddle and my life slowly spiraling out of control. This is me. I did this. I killed that woman. She had a husband and a daughter and some random person requested that I kill her, so I did. She probably didn't do anything wrong. She looked boring. She must have just rubbed someone the wrong way. Maybe she didn't even know what she did. Just like how I rubbed Tomoe the wrong way and didn't know what I did. But Tomoe slapped me twice, hard, and it hurt. And it must have hurt that woman too when she strangled herself and killed herself. I killed her. I directly killed her with my indirect actions. She's dead now, and I'm alive. I'm still here, lying on the bathroom floor of the 14th story of Shinjuku's Temlin office building, and I have paint underneath my fingernails, and Aoi is going to start work here on Monday. But I did it. I killed her. Finally, after countless months of pretense, of false starts, of failures and disappointments, I killed somebody again. Corpse Girl strikes for the second time. And above all else, above this grime and muck on the floor and the tingling and feeling underneath my fingernails, above all of this, this feels good. This feels so, so good. Blood has returned to my legs, the pins and needles have faded, and my toes quiver beneath my stockings and shoes. An electrical charge pulses down my thighs and dissipates through my feet. I manage to plant two hands firmly on the tiles and push myself up on my wobbly knees. I suck in air and breathe all of it back out almost at once. I feel dizzy, a bizarre warmth is welling up inside my stomach and chest. I managed to steady myself enough to sit back on the top of the toilet seat. With my feet planted firmly on the ground and my hands resting on my lap, I try to regain my sense of self. I might have lost my composure a little bit upon reading the news, but who could blame me? Everything I've worked for over the last year is finally starting to pay off. My second victim is dead. With this, Corpse Girl's popularity is sure to rise. More and more people will issue requests through my website. More and more people will receive corpse photos, and more people will... She killed herself. She killed herself. Oh, how I wish I could see the real body. If only I could see her mangled corpse, drenched in sweat and finally at peace. I notice my phone is wedged between my wet fingers, and I must have subconsciously scooped it up from the pool of muck on the floor. I tried to ignore the sticky texture clinging to the screen. My fingers no longer numb. I scroll up and reread the obituary article. Mrs. Akane Shuramaki, 36 of Chiba Prefecture, was pronounced dead this morning. Dead. Pronounced dead. My breathing staggers once again. My jaw gently lowers. Involved in an accident. Hot steam clouds my face, resulting in self-asphyxiation. I salivate unconsciously, a trickle of moisture creeping down my chin and dropping on my lap. My cheeks are flushed, my vision slightly blurred. She killed herself. Because of me. She killed. I let out a gasp as my hips rise against my will, my toes curl, my legs stiffen, my skin tingles. I lean back against the cistern, and the cold porcelain penetrating the thin fabric of my clothes and chilling my burning hot skin. My eyelids flutter as my mind hazes over. I can't control my body any longer. All the anticipation of the last few days, the tension building in my muscles. I can't. My legs tense up, my knees buckle, my neck tilts back. A whispered gasp slips softly between my lips. My phone falls to the ground once more as my fingers slowly uncurl. The dull tink sound as it hits the floor is the last thing my foggy mind registers before I drift away.
You look like horse shit.
You look like horse shit. Oh, thank you. You have such a way with words. Okay, how long are we? 2:23. I am getting a sore throat. There's a lot of reading. Considering there's voice acting, there's a lot of reading. Oh, the wires are getting in the way. Okay. Here we go. Tomoe's brazen drawl snaps me out of my dead-eyed stare.
Looks like you've been sleeping in the sewer. It suits you.
I don't know what she's talking about. I can't really focus on what she's saying. I realise I've been staring at my computer screen for about 20 minutes, rarely blinking. My mouth is dry as though I've stopped producing saliva altogether. A dull throb in my lap causes me to cross one leg over the other in an attempt to get comfortable.
You know, I'm talking here. It's rude to ignore your superior.
I swallow in an attempt to moisten my parched throat before speaking in a cracked voice.
Do you need something?
Thought you should know that Shinya and I are gonna hit the town on Friday night. Turns out he's fancied me for a while now. In the end, seems like the better gal won, don't you think?
Seems that way. Is that all?
I can tell Tomoe is trying to get under my skin, but I'm honestly not in the mood to deal with it right now.
I thought you'd be more torn up about it.
I don't care in the slightest. Why don't you go sit back at your desk?
Whatever. Hey, maybe I'll meet you after work again.
Why? So you can attack me again?
I realised my voice was louder than intended. A few people nearby tilt their heads quizzically. Tomoe takes cautious step back.
Keep your voice down, psycho. Stuff like that's between me and you.
Me and yeah.
You assaulted me. I should report you to the police.
Don't you dare!
Lost for words, Tomoe turns tail and walks away. I sigh and lean back in my office chair. Why do I feel so exhausted? My mind flickers, piecing together fragments of a memory from the bathroom a short while ago. That's right, I let myself get carried away in the exhilaration of my success. I temporarily stepped away from my own body and let my basest instincts take over. But I'm in control now. I'm myself again. I'm Noriko, stoic and unflinching. I'm Corpse Girl, successful and feared. I can kill people as easily as I can manipulate a photo. People like Tomoe should be scared of me. People like Tomoe shouldn't mess with me. I'm in control now. Climbing the steps to my apartment is always such a chore. I wish I'd moved into a building with an elevator, but I simply couldn't afford to when I first moved out on my own last year. These old apartment buildings creak and groan when you ascend the stairs. On top of that, you can hear bustling of other people within their tiny homes as you progress up each floor. There's always a slight whiff of mould or mildew whenever I ascend the stairs. I want to chalk it up to the fact that the building is so old, but it is possible some of the residents here don't keep their apartments very clean. That does not look like an old building at all. At the very least, this neighbourhood is decent. I feel safe in my home even if it's small and cramped. And my neighbours are respectful. From what I can tell, not that I really know them at all. In fact, the only neighbours I have regular contact with are the very same ones I leech Wi-Fi from. Some middle-aged divorced guy named Kenji who lives on the floor below me and his daughter Momo. Kenji's a decent enough guy. He works overnight, which unfortunately means Momo is left home alone a lot in the evenings. Momo's a sweet girl, perhaps 6 or 7 years old. Occasionally I hear her singing drift up to my apartment, but it doesn't bother me too much. She's just a kid. It's the very same Kenji and Momo that I bump into when I'm climbing the stairs this evening.
Oh, good evening.
Hello.
We're just on our way to get some dinner. Isn't that right, Momo?
Yes.
That sounds nice. I hope you have a good meal.
Thank you. Say, are you feeling okay? You look like you've been in some trouble. There's dirt or something all over that side of your face.
I tilt my head and reach a hand to my cheek. Sure enough, dry muck has blended into my makeup and caked all over my face. It seems like my eyeliner is smeared as well. Is this from when I fell in the bathroom? Damn, have I looked like this all day?
Oh, right.
I try to make up some lie so Kenji doesn't worry about me.
I actually fell asleep on the train home, and I guess the seats were kinda dirty.
Is that so?
You should wash your face and do your makeup again. I can help if you like.
I can't help but smile slightly at Momo's generous offer.
Thank you, Momo. I'll be sure to wash up and make myself look nice again. You should go have dinner with your dad.
The girl nods resolutely.
Well, I hope you're okay at any rate. Have you been working hard at the bank?
Oh, actually, I just work at the head office for the bank, so...
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Data something, right?
Yeah, data entry. It's a bit dull, but I'm happy enough.
That's good. That's very good. I know it's hard for kids like you to get good work in this economy. When you find a job like that, you really have to hold on to it. When I was your age, I could only find cleaning work. I must have had a dozen different janitorial jobs. Before I met Momo's mother.
I blink a couple of times. It's not like I talk to this guy often. Really, we hardly know each other. Still, I've never heard him actually mention Momo's mother before. Most of the things I know about him, I've just pieced together from context.
Mom?
Of course, things are different now. I have Momo, and her mother isn't around anymore. Cleaning work doesn't cut it these days. I was really lucky to get into security. It means I can work overnight while Momo sleeps, and I can still take her to school every day.
Security, of course, now I remember. He did mention when we first met what he does for a living. If memory serves, he works for a private security company. I assume he guards corporate offices or parking lots or something like that.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hold on to a job if you like it. That's very important.
Thank you. I'm happy at Temujin, so I plan to stay there.
Very good. Oh, Momo was telling me earlier what she wants to do when she grows up. Weren't you, Momo?
Dad?
Come on now. Tell Noriko what you want to be.
A scientist.
Wow, a scientist. That's a great job. I'll be rooting for you, Momo.
The girl blushes and hides behind her dad.
She's inherited her mother's book smarts, I'm certain. She definitely didn't get her brain from me. Anyway, we're gonna get going. Enjoy your evening, Noriko.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye, Momo.
Bye-bye.
The two of them bow their heads and follow the rest of the stairs down. I continue up the next flight of stairs, reach the landing, and then turn the corner to enter my own apartment. The place is dark because I always make sure to cut the lights before I leave. I can't afford to leave any electricity running. My rent chews through most of my salary as it is. I flick on the lights and feel relief as the living room illuminates. My faithful couch and TV emerge from the shadows, and I immediately feel at home. After throwing my keys and bag onto the coffee table, I slump down on the couch. What a day. I have an overwhelming urge to pull out my laptop and check my website for new requests, but my body needs to come first. I'm desperate for a hot shower. I'll need to cleanse my face, scrape the paint out from underneath my nails, and I'll definitely have to slip into a fresh set of underwear. Whatever happened in that bathroom today took its toll on my body and my clothes. Well, the night is young. I can relax later. For now, it's time to start scrubbing. Thursday morning. The convenience store is a little more crowded than usual. The mundane chatter of business people, students and workers buzzes in the air just like a swarm of relentless flies. Throughout the drone of mingled conversation, I happen to catch a few interesting words here and there.
Have you seen that one website?
What do you mean by request a death?
My lips curl into a half smile, half snarl.
Since he always cheats, I thought I might upload his photo.
And you think Corpse Girl really exists?
To hear so many people talking about Corpse Girl's website is enough to make my nerves tingle. However, I know they're not talking about it because of arcane to sumac that death. As far as I can tell, her death wasn't reported to the news as a suspicious case. The only source of information I could locate was her obituary, and that didn't mention anything about foul play, so there's no way anyone could know that Corpse Girl was involved. People are talking about the website in the same way they always have. Like it's just an interesting topic of conversation, an icebreaker, one of those things you tell your friends to entertain them. and therein is my issue with the website as a topic of conversation. It's just an urban legend, a point of discussion that inevitably fizzles out and is forgotten. People talk about it, people visit the website out of curiosity, but very few people take action and request a death. That's the part that annoys me. If people don't actively participate, how can I prove myself to the world? How can Corpse Girl claim her victims if there are no victims to be claimed? As long as the website is simply a talking point, a myth, an icebreaker, then Corpse Girl's ambitions will remain unfulfilled. To be fair, I haven't yet provided a compelling reason for people to take the website seriously. The death toll is humiliatingly low. I need to ramp it up and step up my game, for Corpse Girl's sake. Until I manage to do that, people will continue to simply discuss the website in hushed tones, like it's some taboo fantasy that shouldn't be spoken of. But with some more time and some more victims, soon everyone will know to fear Corpse Girl. Thanks to the constant drone in the convenience store, I barely register the quiet melody of a ringtone. Eventually, my ears become keen enough to pick it out, and I answer my phone.
Hey. Good morning, Noriko. Is this a bad time?
Not at all. I'm at the convenience store.
Oh, good. I wanted to catch you before work.
No worries. I actually meant to call you yesterday, but the day got away from me.
That's okay. I wanted to ask if you spoke to Shinya yet?
I sure did. Guess what?
What?
You start work on Monday! You'll be doing data entry with me. We might even get to sit near each other.
Oh my gosh. Really? Are you telling the truth?
Of course. When have I ever lied to you?
Oh, Noriko. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does this mean I can quit the maid cafe now?
Yep. Quit today if you can.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you.
Allie, are you crying?
I'm so happy.
Making Aoi so overwhelmingly happy feels really good. I care so much for this girl. Her happiness is vital to
I owe
me.
you so much. And Shinya too. I know. I'll buy him a gift to give him on my first day. Do you think he'll like that?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's a great idea, Aoi.
What does he like?
I managed to spill the answer to that without having to think twice.
Crime novels.
Oh, really? Oh, his dad is a detective, right? Okay, I can get something like that. Right now, I'm going to march into the cafe and quit.
You tell him. Good luck, kid.
Okay, bye, Noriko.
The call ends and I smile. Aoi sounded so happy. I'm really glad that I could help her out. She deserves to be happy. I barely have time to select a can of coffee from the line of refrigerated shelves before my phone rings again.
Huh? Aoi?
Sorry to call again, Noriko. Something was bugging me, so...
What's up?
This is going to sound stupid. Did I thank you for getting me the job?
Oh, yeah, you did. A few times, I think.
Okay, phew. I just wanted to check. It was bothering me. And I didn't want to come off as ungrateful. You know what? Just to make sure. Thank you, Noriko. Okay, I'm going now, really. Bye-bye.
Bye, Aoi.
The call end and my brow furrows. That was strange, but maybe not so strange for Aoi. I guess she really wanted to be polite. I shrug it off and return to selecting my coffee for the day. The office atmosphere is unusually somber when I exit the elevator. There are fewer people around than normal. Some executives I rarely see on this level are hovering around in one of the glass-screened cubicles to one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk, talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot, despite the fact that whoever is on the other end of the call can't see him. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but nobody seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to my desk and sit down. I spend some time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives in front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Oh? Somebody we know?
Shinya shakes his head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec, up on the 21st floor. Apparently, she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal day. People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in some sort of accident, and now she's...
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
Yes. Dead.
So, I mean, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this explain where everyone is today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning. Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work. Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy. So unexpected.
Tsurumaki, I wasn't that far off. I blink a few times, getting ready to turn back to my computer. Miss Tsurumaki.
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything. It's really sad.
Akane Tsurumaki. Though I've never met her before, her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation and accident. She worked here. I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with thousands of employees, Japan-wide, but still, for her to work in the very same building as me, it's too coincidental. It doesn't feel right. Would I have gone through with killing her if I knew she worked in my building? This scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have to be someone who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realise that I've been spacing out and I turn back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways, I think. The details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help. As for me, I think I'll be okay. Some quiet reflection on the matter should help clear my head.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to. It's important to look ahead in times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Ugh, yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Right.
Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know them. I didn't know that at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No, I was careful to cover my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner phone SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone will find out I'm involved. I'm burping, I'm really sorry. Besides, I don't even know if authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as general information goes, it would seem like it truly is being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear, I know I am. However, I sure would like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Tsurumaki's death. The thought that it could be someone I work with makes me way too curious. Despite work being eventful this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Even Tomoe kept her distance from me. I wonder if I scared her off when I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually would report her, that would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that considering my moonlighting occupation. Especially now that I know I have a connection to Tsurumaki. I brush my hair in front of the mirror in my bedroom. Why did you just randomly have a framed fleur-de-lis? I remove my makeup and reveal the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. Since tonight is rather cold, I decide to snuggle up underneath the covers in bed with my laptop. I crawl into bed and pull the plush blankets up over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here and now. To keep myself awake, I check the requests on my website. I'm pleasantly surprised to find there are 2 new requests. 2 in one day. My heart begins to race and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads, today, 11:14 AM, victim's phone, image attachment not found. No image attachment. What? I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless an image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My optimism renewed. I hurriedly click to the unread message. Victim's phone, downloaded image attachment. Yes, the request has been submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. The new victim is male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile or if it's an ID photo of some sort. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm not so naive as to pretend I can't guess at the reasons this guy is wanted dead. Perhaps an ex has submitted his details after a bad breakup, or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting the death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. So why did somebody want Tsurumaki dead? She was so plain looking, so uninteresting. She didn't look like she was capable of even thinking about wronging somebody. Did somebody want revenge on her, or did someone simply find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on a past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. This new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. Well, we get what's coming to us. No sense in trying to avoid scarring a pretty face. Beauty is superficial anyway. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're good looking. Beautiful people should suffer as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi, for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type, but she suffers endlessly at the hands of cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we're dealt. So why fuss over a beautiful corpse? This guy, or Aoi, or even Tomoe on a good day, beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there's some petty reason his death has been requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn a single one down. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way to her fame. With a smirk and a lick of my lips, I get to work. I've got a nice clear photo here so I can go all out on the request. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time selecting a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in its throat or a body soaking in a bloody bathtub with its wrist slit. Either the image would do fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build male. The corpse's legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on some suburban street. It's perfect, beautiful even. It will help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind this photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. Well, regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers trace along the computer's trackpad with practice movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even managed to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a warm book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a second-hand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its aged cover and the weathered spine both bear the same title. Fausse Photographie, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. The book is written in English and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language. But I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinate me. The book even hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in its throat or a body soaking in a bloody bathtub with its wrist slit. Either the image would do fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build male. The corpse legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on some suburban street. It's perfect, beautiful even. It will help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind this photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. Well, regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers trace along the computer's trackpad with practice movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even managed to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a warm book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a second-hand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its aged cover and the weathered spine both bear the same title. Fausse Photographie, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. The book is written in English and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language. But I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinate me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993 when it was first published. It's true that a lot of the techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there is a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that the featured artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating images of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book edit images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras when photographs of people were taken few and far between, a sect of artists dedicated themselves to honouring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remember them? Instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse, these artists applied paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process is the way they illustrated the corpse's eyes to look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artists discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard at my own photo editing. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finished flipping through a chapter and closed the book. I hold the tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. When I'm certain nobody is looking, I carefully open the lid of the large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses, and I reflexively gag and sputter. The staff at the convenience store really need to seal their trash in plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
The raised open lid locks in place at 45-degree angle, allowing my now free hands to retrieve a small black object from my handbag. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shiny charcoal finish. I open it up and tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Nodding to myself, satisfied that I've covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it in the dumpster. I then snap the phone in half along with the hinge separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with a gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I sidle between the brick wall of the convenience store and the narrow metal railings intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now in front of the convenience store, I finally feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take their final fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I cracked the SIM card in half and disposed of it in the combustible trash. Now, with the phone itself destroyed, discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It has been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my latest victim, that athletic guy that I may have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no point holding on to the evidence of my wrongdoing for longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim's timestamp, May 30th, 10:31 AM. The victim may decide to kill himself today, of course. He could end up just like Aken Suramaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold out until just a few hours before the designated time. He'll let panic and fear boil and build inside him until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Ruri Hatano. Did she kill herself or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I cross the road. Oh, it's so pretty! On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather is decent. I avoid the park in the mornings as a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and this time of the evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. This city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think much of it as I walk by every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare? Wouldn't I just end up homeless as well? I'm not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara, and commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in the electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. And I don't even get me started on the cost of the coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than that, I'm paying up to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy a canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Quixote, I still only save a handful of loose change. And I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at the convenience store. I'm just thankful that I don't go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Realizing I'm trudging along the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Toward the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on a bench come into view. The sound of laughter carries on the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard the voices before. As I draw closer, a sinking sensation clutches at my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm so close to home.
Aha! It's Noriko! Fancy seeing her here.
Noriko's here.
Tomoe and Shinya. Tomoe glances and flips her long hair behind her ear with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside of the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomoe did mention they were going on a date on Friday night. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I would run into them on the way home. Though what are they doing here in Akihabara? I'm sure that's 100% wrong. I have to assure that Tomoe came here on purpose to spite
On your way
me.
home?
How's your,
We're having a blast. Right, Chin?
Yes, of course. A great time.
I wonder if Tomoe has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way to spend an evening than eating with Tomoe.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this date on himself. Why should I have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
I honestly don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
She's starting to get on my nerves. I swear she tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub them in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Right.
Huh. Fascinating.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay. See you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe's words hang in the air as I walk past her. I I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all, or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun! I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turn back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Well, I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Yeah. I'm going.
I finally managed to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing through the air. I exit the park, cross the road, and walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe, I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I have to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. That doesn't look like your apartment building. Okay. Save. Okay. And yep. Okay. I am. Oh, this is new. She's sitting on a gurney thing now. Okay. Nope, my Ah! Oh, you've raided! Just as I'm finishing, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just saved and backed out. Hello. Thank you for the raid. I am so sorry. I was just about to finish up. I've been reading for 3 hours and my throat is really sore. I will see if I can get you a guinea pig to say thank you. Oh, see who I can get hold of for you. Let me put Petcam up for a second. There we go. We've got you, Remy, to say thank you to the raid. Oh, you're going to greet the raiders? Yeah? This is Remy Labor. And he says hello. You're such a blob. I woke him up. I'm sorry, Remy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. He's Remy Labor because he's named after Gambit from the X-Men, Remy LeBeau. Yeah, and he lives with Rogue, his girlfriend. And he had his nails clipped today. He was very good. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Get off me. Did you just shove my hand away? Did you just shove my hand away? He's a good boy. Yeah. And, Ed, as you just followed, thank you very much. You can have a Remy emote. That Remy's a follower emote. So you're going to have a guinea pig emote now. Everybody should have a guinea pig emote, shouldn't they, Remy? Everybody should have one. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Oh, I will give you a biscuit. I will give you a biscuit for being picked up, Remy. You get one of your favourite biscuits. Yeah, good boy. Thank you. Good boy, Remy. Mwah. Oh, his second anniversary, well, no, his first anniversary is coming up. And it's going to be Rogue's second birthday. I got them from a rescue a year ago. Next week. It's very good. I cannot pronounce any of these Japanese names for shit. I am terrible. There's a lot of reading out loud and I'm getting a really sore throat. I've been going for 3 hours and my throat is getting sore. So I'm giving myself a break. Yeah. You've been listening to me, haven't you? But it's an intriguing plot. When it first started, it was reminding me of an episode of Black Mirror. There's an episode of Black Mirror where people were tweeting that a hashtag that they wanted somebody to be killed. And then certain people were getting killed. And then at the end, everybody who ever used that kill, enter name here, hashtag, ended up being killed by robot bees. Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's something like that, because in the prologue, the character that used Corpse Girl to kill somebody in revenge ended up dying herself. Yeah, Remy's listening. Stop pushing it. He knows. He heard me say biscuit. He knows when he goes back into his cage, he's getting a biscuit. He wants his biscuit now.
The phrase